Good morning. Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, on all my live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Happy Monday. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to be here. As always, I'm always so excited to be live and have a chit chat, share an energy update, and have a little bit of a discussion. So I'm going to jump right in so that I don't take up too much time, so that we have time for questions or for a little bit of channeling this morning. I do have to work in person, so my time is a little bit limited, but let's jump at it. Good morning. I see you guys all coming in. It's so good to be here. So this week, emotions, emotions, emotions. There is going to be and it feels quite soft. So before you take a big breath in and panic, it's going to be soft. Some soft emotions are coming in this week. And I'm also feeling a lot of that stomach area where we're holding a lot of these emotions. It is going to be a week of in touch with them. There is an in touch emotional week ahead of us. But with all of this, it's going to have a soft side. Intuition is going to be very, very heightened this week. Sensitivity, being sensitive this week. You may find yourself not just sensitive, emotionally, but you may find yourself sensitive to environment stuff as well. So if you're feeling a little bit more sensitive to things that you're not normally sensitive to, foods, environment, situations that it's going to be a feeler kind of week. Emotions are going to be up. There's going to be some exposure of emotions, perhaps some things that you didn't realize were you were holding in that stomach area. It's going to surface. I'm also curious if anybody that's on here this morning has a little bit of tummy stuff going on, maybe Saturday late in the day or Sunday, or perhaps even this morning. Perhaps you're just feeling a little off in your stomach, lack of appetite, or anything like that. There is some emotions that we're holding there. Breaking free of, this is how spirit gave it to me. I just have to read my notes because when I channel, I don't always remember. Breaking free of old chains, that feeling of being held down or held back. There's that kind of release this week. I feel like I literally, when my meditation, I literally felt like I broke free of, I'm not even quite sure what I personally broke free from yet, but I'll figure it out as the week goes on, I'm sure. But breaking free from those emotions, there's a new personal power that's kind of bubbling up this week. So and then I should be here on Wednesday morning for a brief energy check-in as well. So I'm just curious if you guys can just take note a little bit about stomach stuff that's been going on. Because I'm going to be very curious with that. But it's going to come, like I said, it's going to come in. Oh, I see a few you lack of appetite, some stomach stuff, some heaviness. Oh, wow. I'm already on it with the stomach all weekend. There it is. There it is. And as always, there is the physical world side of things. So if you got something going on that's more physical world, then please take note as well. But at the end of and I'll probably get more on Wednesday. I feel like there's also, even though there's emotions and stuff coming out and being more in touch and feeling more softer, there's also some solutions. So, those of you who are been, looking for solutions to stuff that's been going on around you in the physical world, there's some solution energy coming in, and there was also some surprising answers. So, with that being said, I'm a big one for journaling. Just take some notes as little things come in. The surprised answers. Now, when I felt with that, I literally felt that element of surprise. It felt and oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that from that situation or from that person. And so that can come at you and can also tie into being in touch with our emotions and our softer side, that feminine energy, that intuitive piece, that sensitive. And for some of us, it may kind of bring in a little bit of overwhelm. So, as always, make sure that your spiritual practices are top notch this week. That's going to be important. And giving yourself time to process those emotions. Sometimes, we're too busy to even give ourselves a time to pause and think, how am I feeling? Do I need to check in with my emotions? It's going to be that kind of week, but it felt very soft. So when things feel very soft when I'm channeling, it's like a gentleness. Come at you at a gentle side. Come at you come at yourself with, I just need some time to process, to feel very, very softly. So just kind of even like take a moment or two. And I just heard this quite loud in my head. Even take a moment to walk softly. Like anything that you can kind of slow down that pace, it'll help with those exposed emotions that are going to become bubbling. Um, I just want to come back up to the top of my notes here because I think I missed a part that I wrote. There's also, with those surprise solutions and those surprise answers, there's also some surprised endings and closure and completion. It's almost like, things are going to wrap up. That's how it felt. There's this awareness of a full picture, of things that are ending and things that need, that are completing, and some solutions. And I actually wrote the solution, the word solutions. I wrote it down 6 times when I was channeling solutions, solutions, solutions. Six times I wrote it. So there's a lot of that kind of fluttering around through our week this week. I took special note with the whole slowing down and softer, listening to your intuition. If that's something that's new for you, lean in there a little bit and just kind of trust. Emotions are on the rise. Now, as always, I always say, watch for some of this to bubble into people that are around you, your family, your friends, you maybe see some emotional increases with them up on the energy grid. But it's a soft week with it. I didn't feel it as that heavy emotions or heavy stuff that's being purged out. It felt like a very soft side, a sensitive side. And with the empaths, especially the empaths, make sure that you're giving yourself time to rest, to connect, to journal. All of that is going to be very, very important this week. And then I'm still seeing it now, and it's coming at me in a cartoon way. So I think there's going to be some humor this week as well. Is like I got like a little cartoon light bulb going off in my awareness. Oh, there's a solution to that. And it feels very soft and easy. The reason for the stomach stuff, I just want to kind of top in there, is many of us hold things there. We tend to hold things in our stomach area. So just kind of, if your tummy is upset or you're having a little bit of GI stuff going on, give yourself a moment to feel, and just feel, what do I need to feel? We're kind of programmed as humans not to, right? Like be a big person and don't cry, right? But, all of that stuff kind of push, 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 and we hold it in that area. I hope that resonated with some of you. I am going to scroll up now and just kind of catch some of the comments and questions here. It's good to see so many of you joining me this morning. Quite a few of you with the stomach and lack of appetite. Wow, my stomach has been crazy with heavy upset with foods. I even did a cleanse my stomach, felt stuck. Mandy, thank you for sharing that. Yeah, so Mandy, as well, if I may add a suggestion for you, work through a little bit of the feelings. Is there anything that you the feelings that you've kind of pushed down or didn't get it? Oh, here's how I heard it. Didn't get a chance to process at the time, Mandy. So sometimes, the fast pace of life, or if you've had a lot going on, and Mandy, you have shared with this group a few times that you had a lot of stuff going on. Perhaps you haven't processed some of that because it's like one thing after the other, after the other, after the other, and our processors can we do have maximum overload in our processors. So sometimes it's, you didn't get a chance to feel that. Perhaps you didn't get a chance to have a good cry, have a good laugh, have a good letting go. Perhaps, just kind of, and if this resonates to anybody else, please, please, please pick it up as well. We don't always process things that happened, right? And energy is such a powerful thing. If we didn't get a chance to process the energy, and it's the light side of energy too. Sometimes we didn't get a chance to do that Snoopy dance, that happy dance. We didn't get a chance to celebrate an accomplishment. We didn't get a chance. There's both sides to that. It's not just the heavy stuff. It's the fun stuff too. We didn't get a chance to really process and have fun with something, and we kind of hold that in there. The holding of energy is huge, right? We and I always say we don't give energy enough credit. I'm always on that rant. We don't consider the energy of it. But sometimes, Mandy, and for anybody else, we don't have a chance to process. So with that holding and with doing a cleanse, Mandy, if you're still feeling that stomach stuff, give yourself a chance to really break down some of the emotions, or break down some of the feelings, or break down what you didn't get a chance to really think about. Um, And Mandy, I'm really want to say that I'm proud of you for the strength that you energetically and physically, the strength that you have pulled in to help yourself. I love that, Mandy. You've taken a lot of that. I'm going to help myself through all of this, and even helping myself, meaning reaching out to a group of people, whether it be here or in your physical world life. I think that that's great. Another one, Camilla. Wow, I have had no appetite, not like me. And Fran, yep, I just refused. I never refused ice cream, and I didn't have it when I went to Costco. My friend couldn't believe it. Yeah, there's the stomach stuff. So again, with all of you who are agreeing with the stomach stuff, tap into what am I holding on to? And sometimes, even though there may not be a solution or a resolution, sometimes just the acknowledgement of energy, just acknowledging that, yeah, that really does freaking suck, right? Or oh my goodness, that was so I didn't have a time. I didn't have time to really express my gratitude for that. Sometimes just holding that in there is just enough to physically have that upset. All right, let's grab a few questions and a little sip of tea. Oh, it seems extra hot this morning. Okay, Lana, do you get any vibes regarding my new online business I'm trying to get going? I'm feeling discouraged and I don't want to be. Thank you. So, Rachel, and this is a very common practice, but I feel like I've got to really keeping that vision in my awareness. I really feel because your online business does feel good with for me, and I also feel that you're very very willing to take your time to grow it, to allow it. And yes, and I remember, Rachel, even myself, there are moments, looking back, I wasn't sure is going online the right thing to do. I feel like I just got to say trust it a little bit, but turn up the volume on your vision with it. So little things, if you haven't already done it, something similar to a vision board, or just drawing a picture, or having a gratitude bowl where like you're just kind of working with that energy a little bit, just to kind of keep that vibe going, just to kind of say I'm here for the learning experience. I feel, Rachel, that I just have to kind of say, yeah, stick with it, really bring it into your awareness. I keep seeing it as awareness, keeping it very much aware. So little things like your screensaver, if you've come up with a logo, keeping that, like, plaster it everywhere. Draw your logo or your business name on post-it notes and stick it everywhere. I really have to keep it in my awareness, because it is we do have that, what if this doesn't work out? I have to kind of put also into that, what if it does? And I really want to do this. I feel it like such a deep part of you. Rachel, I'm just curious if you can just kind of put in the chat a little bit. Did you really think, like, for a long time about doing this? Like, was it something that was in the back of your mind an extended period of time? Because I feel it very rooted. And when I feel something very rooted, it's kind of been it's something that you grew even energetically before you did the physical work stuff. Um, Janine, will our money troubles end? So I got the big yellow arrow pointing down at my notes with solutions and surprised answers. So I do feel, and I mean, Janine, I think for most of us, we're always kind of working really hard to get ahead of those money issues. I feel like solutions are coming to support and push. I keep getting that push. There is going to be that continued push for solutions, and I don't feel terrible. I don't know. No, do I feel a big bag of money from the sky falling on your head? No, but I do feel like the solutions and the answers, and you're getting somewhere. I do feel like you're getting, like, a step or two ahead of it. So I hope that helps you there, darling. Um, Bubble, surprise answers. I already felt this weekend, Len. You were literally a part of me discovering an unexpected answer. There's more of that coming overall this week, Shy. I even for myself, I'm like, I'm really gonna work on being wide open to hear it and receive it and be aware of those solutions. And that's kind of probably a really good point to kind of share with you guys too. Is all we can get so busy that we don't necessarily, like, either look for those solutions or be open to solutions. Sometimes things come, right in front of us. Have you ever had something that kept coming up and kept coming up, and you kind of ignored it or didn't catch it, and then all of a sudden you focused on it, and it was like there was the answer? Is anybody, you know what I'm trying to express with that? I feel like there's a lot of that for many of us this week. It's like, oh, that was there the whole time. I just didn't see it or recognize it. And here it is that solution and the surprised answers. And with that, sometimes, and I just want to kind of insert this because Spirit's really pushing, pushing me for that. Sometimes what's holding us back, we may often have that awareness of, oh, that's holding us back, or that person's holding us back, or that, that awareness or that old programming is holding us back. Sometimes solutions can be that too. It can be something that's holding us back, that we can, say, oh, I really have to step aside from that, or from that person right now, because that's where the solution will be. So just kind of keep a very broad open mind all week for solutions to come in, and just kind of, again, with it feeling so soft, and spirit keeps pushing me back up to the top of my page where the softer stuff I channeled, it's a softer side. All right. Laura, definitely feeling those feels this weekend. Question: is there a difference between the Akashic record reading and a medium past life reading? Yes, there is. Yes, there is a difference in that. So the they're similar but the same, Laura, if that makes sense. And I've had both done, and I really don't have a preference, because I got so much information from my Akashics, and I got so much information from medium past life reading. I do want to say, though, with mediumship and past lives, yes, mediums can pick up information on your past life, but the best way to access that past life reading is to have somebody do it in a form of a regression, because it's your information, it's you tapping into that, and not coming from another source. So that's just a little something that I've experienced throughout the years, is that the bet for, as far as going to a medium for a past life reading, make sure that actually, I don't, maybe not make sure. I just want to change that wording. I suggest it being more of a regression versus somebody channeling with, I think you were here. I prefer to have people tap into their own knowledge, because all past lives that you've ever experienced in this body or in any other body is knowledge within you. Yes, a medium can pick up on it, but they cannot access it all, if that makes sense. Okay. um Matriarch astrology. Hi, Lana. I would like to know what my spirit team has to say to me about upcoming Pisces eclipse in the house. I'm feeling I'll have some activation event. So we are coming into eclipse season, absolutely, and it's going to be a big eclipse season. And we also have a super moon that's going to be connected with that. And I also feel that, yes, eclipses do help with activation and growth. But the most important piece, because I believe that anytime we can be activated by energy, I don't just believe it connects to eclipses, but oh, but it does pull in energy as well. But I also feel that there has been a crack open for you that's been happening, and I keep going back 3 months. So I'm not sure what you've been doing in the last 3 months, but I feel like the last 3 months has kind of got you prepared to receive. So if that makes sense, I just feel like there's been already work that's done to receive. PJ, you had cramps this weekend. Does that count? Absolutely, that does count. It's going to be a lot of that stomach awareness, and I don't really like stomach stuff. I would rather have a headache than stomach stuff. That's just my own personal preference. But um yeah, I think even myself, I may do a little bit of a water cleanse, or maybe a fast, a morning fast or something like that, just to kind of I haven't felt any of the stomach stuff yet personally. But if I always tap into whatever I've channeled from spirit. I also take a good look for myself. Is there anything that I'm holding on to, even physically, right? So for me, and I'm aware of where I often hold my energy. Quite often my energy is in my shoulders. If I'm holding on to anything, I'm like, I get it in the shoulders, but I am going to be, extra aware of my digestive system. Shy, I will tell my mom about the answers I've gotten too. She has a right to know as well. I'm sure it's going to be an unexpected for her as well. Big hugs there, Shy. Len, is it possible to have hybrid children? If so, do I have hybrid children? I know it's very out there, but I'm curious. Insert shrug. So PJ, I'm gonna jump into this because I salivate at this topic. Children today are coming in at an incredible time to pave the way. So yes, I do believe that there are many, 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 probably most. There are a lot of light workers within children that are coming here to pave a way to some big changes in our physical world. I also feel, PJ, because you've got such an open and openness. I feel like they're showing that to you very, very early, and you probably had that awareness in the moment that they were the wee ones, because they're coming here. Kids are coming here more and more connected, and there's several reasons. Number one, we need them. I'm big with the youth, and I'm big with kids. We need them. They are such profound sources of information. Profound with like spiritual information. They are coming here more and more spiritual. I see it in the youths that I work with. I also feel that there is also, and in your, well, more than welcome. You guys are always more than welcome to chime in the comments, even if I don't get a chance to read them all. I do go back or after the live and try and catch a few of the comments. Um, I also feel that with the spiritual balance that our physical world has been working on, more and more people are becoming more and more open, right? So, when you look at that, children, are I'm going to use the word supported or allowed to kind of navigate. We become much more open and much more accepting, and we're not programming kids as much as perhaps we did, 50, 60 years ago. There's a lot less is there still programming? Yeah, 100%. But I feel like it's a lot less of that programming within the home. So we're holding space for kids to express who they are, to have conversations. There's a lot more spiritual energy around now versus 50, 60, 70 years ago. So when you look at that, that's also supporting that growth, right? So they're coming here more connected, and we are holding that for them. We're holding them there to come in connected. Yes, there's always going to be particles and pieces of the physical world that are going to judge, that are going to criticize, there's always going to be that negative side to life. It's the yin and the yang, it's the balance of energy. It's always been there. It's not new, but we are getting better at it, you guys. We are getting better at it. When you take a really good hard look, we're getting better at that, right? And it's because of what we're supposed to do. We've been learning, right? Like our grandparents had their lessons, our parents had their lessons. We've learned from those lessons. We have grown that way, collectively as well. So yes, PJ, and it's a big topic. It's one of my favorite topics. I could probably sit here all day and talk about the excitement that I have for the youth or a baby born today. They're bringing us so much learning and energy, and they're extremely connected. And many of you probably see it too, right? Our youth are just delicious. Okay, my stomach is actually quite fine. I'm just more hungry than usual and not understanding why. That could be a little bit. Um, t- um Tabitha, I always feel stress in my stomach area. Trying to remember to breathe when I feel overwhelmed. Good for you, Tabitha. Feeling it these days due to my dad's health right now. And Tabitha, I love how you're incorporating that. We do go through some really hard stuff in the physical world. There are things that we go through that is brutally hard. Hard on our hearts, hard on our minds, hard on our physical bodies. And I just love, Tabitha, that you're trying to remember. You said that with such love and grace for yourself. And Tabitha, if you don't already, I would also add, leaning in on some spirit guides. Ask them to come with you, ask them to to help you, ask them to support you and your dad. Incorporate that a little bit if it resonates with you, and just kind of practice leaning on energy. I literally practice leaning in on energy because I can lean the other way, where I'm strong and I got it, I'm strong and I got it. Right, but we all do need to lean a little bit on support. So I'll just lean on a tree, I'll lean on the wall, I'll lean on a beam, I'll lean so that it reminds me to lean in for support and lean in on energy with spirit as well. Holding in can be very harmful to the body sometimes. Absolutely, darling. Um, Kayla, any messages for me? Thank you always. Kayla, have you been laughing louder? Though I don't know if I think I need to go back over the last 3 days. I feel like, and if you're not, then turn up the volume on your laughter. When you laugh really loud, I feel like that laughter of really loud shakes up particles within you. Like I just have to like turn up the volume on the laughter, or if you are already laughing, like laughing really loud, it's changing things. There's something there with that vibe for you that I just had to like it was instantly that I had to give that to you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday, Kayla. Um, let's see where we go. I'm a bit late to the party. Laura, I love that. We're happy to have you, Laura. Diane, good morning, Lana. Does my spirit guides have any messages for me? Diane, I know this is probably going to sound funny, but I have to give it to you anyway. It's never up to me to filter a message. Um, does any of does any of Elvis's music resonate with you? I just heard and you could see like the line of like favorite Elvis or popular Elvis music. I feel like it connects to someone that passed in the spirit dimensions. And I feel like I've got to say that all of that energy is around you and supporting you. And I always I always kind of chuckle because so many people say, "Have you ever channeled Elvis?" And this isn't a channel, not channeling Elvis. It's the music that I'm hearing. So there's something significant there, Diane, and perhaps just even if you have your own favorite Elvis song, play it a couple times this week and lean in there. Uh, Laura, I would love to know if I'm on the right path of what I'm doing for school, what I'm going to school for. I feel, Laura, that you have got a deep knowing that you're on the right path. I feel like it's just like a little bit of reassurance. I don't feel like you even need me to connect on that. I 100% feel and I can that you are on the right path. Laura, I can also see a light at your feet guiding you on that. So back into that intuitive side to you and leaning just trusting that. I feel like it's a big guide into this. Like you're being guided into this. And I'm Laura, I'm just curious, did you kind of like take a pivot really quick into doing something with school? Like I just feel like either I know this is the way. That's kind of how it felt to me. I know this is the way. All weekend I would have random monarch butterflies fly around me. It was wonderful. I love that for you. Okay. Another Diane. Diane Rebel. Good morning, everyone. I feel that some things are going to happen in the U.S. today, but my guides told me to breathe before reaction. I felt this was a collective message for particular and today. Then trust that, and keep breathing. I also, Diane, it's interesting that you have brought this up because I also in my meditation on yesterday, I also felt that I needed to send a lot of healing light to a few places, and the US was one of them. So that's interesting that you mentioned that. I don't feel terrible with it though. I felt it more like a supportive energy there. I need to send some support. Easy Puff Lana, my little sis who's 18 is falling for an old dude. He's homeless but chooses to live with his mom instead of the grown and get his own place. How dangerous. Whoa. First of all, Easy Puff, I don't think you need me to tell you this is heavy. Just I'm sure you felt that heaviness is there as well. I also feel that with your sister, I feel like right now, she's quite close to any kind of suggestions or guidance. So one thing that I need to kind of do is I feel like I've got to have the safety net in place. So with that, when spirit shows me my safety net, number one, she has a safe place to fall. I also feel though with because I can suddenly see her getting her eyes open wide. I feel like I've got to lovingly insert. I feel like she can have this. The more that you say don't, the more she does. I feel like I've got to hold it a different space and kind of I'm going to use it, watch my wording or watch my energy, because I feel like it's got to be her idea even outside of the situation. I feel like it's part of her personality. It's got to be her idea before anything she'll change anything. I feel like I've got to and then back up with the softer energy, with the very clear, I get it, there's concerns and I agree with your concerns. I just kind of have to watch how I verbalize them, because I feel like if it's harsh, I feel like it pushes her further. So I feel like I've just got to very gently, perhaps take her out to lunch, perhaps take her down, to the river or the water and have a talk. I feel like I've got to just gently with that, and and just keep that safety net of support around her. Okay. Debbie Jones on the weekend. I attended the psychic fair, shared in my headaches, maybe from the third eye opening. Nothing seriously medically is showing up. On the weekend, I attended a psychic fair. Some shared my headaches, maybe from the third eye opening. Does that resonate with you, Debbie? Um, Third eye opening. I mean, we all have our own experiences, but third eye opening usually comes like a feeling of like a pull, like a sensation or a tingling there. Um, Debbie, I feel more, and I mean, always what goes what resonates, Debbie. So my question to you is: does that information resonate with you? I don't feel it medically either. I do, but I do feel it more of an energy. So, and I have to tap into Debbie. Have you been overthinking? I'm pulled into more of an overthinking energy. So I'm curious if, and I don't feel it as a worry. I feel it more as an overthinking or in that headspace too much. And I feel like I'm being pulled into like deeper spiritual practices, if that makes sense to you, Debbie. And I'll watch for your answer there. Okay. I gotta watch the time here, you guys. Personal demand avoidance, PDA. If your kid can take direction, look it up. There's some amazing strategies to help working through that. Thank you very much for posting that, Miss MI. I'm so grateful to have you here. Um, Aaron, yeah, the US has elections in a couple of months, and our choice has been toxic versus toxic. My third eye is always open. Usually see it in a blink every now and again, rather than interesting. I do feel our third eye, when I always, you guys, whatever resonates, please take that, right? If it doesn't resonate, I am so much okay with that. But I don't feel okay. All of our spiritual senses are always there, right? I do. I feel like all of our spiritual senses are always there. I feel like our awareness to them or our openness to them or our growth of them. I struggle with all of a sudden of all these spiritual things. All of a sudden, we're struggling to open them, or we're struggling with this. Our awareness is changing. That's for me. That's what resonates. I just feel that. I feel like it's always been there. It's part of who you are. We are spiritual beings, and I feel like I just have to say, grow it and allow it and tap into it. It's the essence of who you are. And again, with that comment, Spirit again pointed to my sheet of paper here: break free of the chains. Some of the change is old programming, right? So just kind of tap into that and finding your own way to navigate through your spiritual journey, finding your own way to connect with what connects to you, finding your own way that way, right? That's the path, right? It's individual. It's not what the masses take or not what the masses do. It's all about remembering. It's all about being able to say, and I just as I said that, Miss Emma, I love that, Lana. It's remembering. It is remembering. So, Emma, we're on the same path. We're on the same path here. Or the same thought process. It's all there with you. We came here with it all. It's not new. It's always been there. We're remembering and we're connecting to it, right? So just kind of lean into there. But Debbie, maybe you were thinking about work and retirement coming up, and navigating your own way into your own spiritual practices. Healers and mediums and psychics and anybody who works in spirit dimensions, they can guide and give suggestions, but it's all about you finding your own way, right? And that's why it's so important that I emphasize it every single time I open my mouth publicly, or even personally, if somebody comes and talks to me. It's always about that energy within you. It will always be different. There's no exact way to do it, right? It's all within you. It's finding your own magic. It's finding your own way of connecting. Other people can give you suggestions and help and guidance, but it's so important to find your way. You're a magical being that came here with magic to do. It's all there. It's just a matter of leaning into it and trying and being okay with trying things. And that's the other thing. If you are absolutely not into meditation, the traditional meditation, go for a walk in the forest, frolic in the forest, right? Try new things, try a dance, try chanting, try a singing bowl, try whatever resonates with you. That is the best advice that I can give you guys on all of that. Okay, you guys, I have to move along here. Let's kind of take a look for some guidance in the animal communication book. Let's have a little peek. Setting some intentions. What do we need to know for the week? All right, the B. It's time to get organized and get your work. Sorry, it's time to get organized and get to work on that idea that you want to implement and develop. Approach your projects with commitment, diligence, and dedication, and you'll succeed beyond your wildest expectations. Involve several others in a cooperative and life affirming venture, one in which everyone who participates will benefit and if possible, one that involves an entire community. I love that so much. I didn't take a look at my calendar. I'm pretty sure I'm here on Wednesday morning. We can have a quick chit chat. I try to do it before I come on, but not the. Yep, I will tune in at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday. There are still a few spots available in the Introduction to Mediumship that is starting tomorrow. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I love, collective learning and helping people along the way. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided day. Take care, you guys.